I've been doing research since 2015 on the Syrian refugee crisis. I started my research in Jordan, where millions of refugees from Syria have entered, many of which have not been able to obtain work permits and therefore have been forced to turn to entrepreneurship, micro-enterprise work in order to survive and be able to pay the rent and buy food and medical supplies for their children.
In our research we were looking at displaced people, Syrian refugees in Lebanon, and one of the things that is important for a displaced person is to find their own voice, to feel that they matter as a human being. And these things came when they were in Syria. These things came from the fact that they were in a community, embedded in a social infrastructure, embedded in a local community infrastructure, and those things made their life meaningful. Now those things are washed away, and a displaced person in a foreign country where they're often not that welcome. So what we were interested in is how do they make their lives meaningful again? And what we discovered is a lot of the things that we consider the mundane practices, such as, for example, organizing their tents, creating a garden, creating boundaries. These things were really important.
The main thing is that we need to understand that refugees, first and foremost, don't want to leave home. They are absolutely forced to leave home, that's why they're called refugees. And when they enter into communities, they want to work, they want to integrate, but sometimes face barriers, issues around work permits, language, understanding the culture. So if we take these issues into account, I think it would be a much better and easier process for the refugees and also the host communities. And again, policies need to be put into place in order to support local councils, local governments and the refugees themselves to make this process a little bit easier for everybody.
Academic research in marginalised populations such as refugees, unemployed, etc. is really important because those are the spaces in society that needs to be incorporated into the way we think about reorganising and organising society.
So academic research is really important because it's kind of like the next stage after journalism. So when things break in the news and we can witness things unfold minute by minute, something that we're very lucky that we're able to see even more so with social media these days. We learn immediately about the issues of what's happening in that moment. What academic research then really can do is take these horrific circumstances, for example the refugee crisis in Syria and the recent one in the Ukraine, and we can follow on to do some in-depth research and analysis, to do a true understanding of people's experiences over the long term and the side effects of the war over a long period of time. And that will better inform our policies to be able to support these people over a longer period of time in a more sustainable way.